Welcome back, everybody, to tonight's D2CL action. Na'Vi up against Power Rangers now. Game 1, Na'Vi, that must be such a massive disappointment to go, what was it, like 25-2? They got 2 kills in a 30-minute game. They absolutely got destroyed. I don't know if it was outdrafted, outplayed, outskilled, but whatever it was, PR beat them, and they beat them hard. Let's see if in Game 2 it's going to be any different, or if PR can make a 2-0 sweep here. Let me just introduce my co-caster, Scant. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Power Rangers are a team that really thrive on momentum, and they already had a big win in the match before this one. Now they've had an extremely big Game 1 win. I think Power Rangers are going to come out guns blazing in this game. I think they're going to be extremely confident and try and just keep riding that momentum. And from Na'Vi's side, I imagine they'll start with the supports and try and make sure that their supports are relevant in the early game. I feel like that's a foundation of most Dota teams and most early games. And last game we saw them pick a combo which is meant to do something, and it just didn't do that thing.
Yeah, like there's obviously different scales of execution when you come to actually playing out your draft. You can execute things perfectly, you can execute them decently, poorly, but Na'Vi did not have any execution on that roaming duo. They literally didn't do anything. But now they've got Juggernaut and Dazzle. Dazzle definitely a support hero that can accomplish things in the lane. And Jug, even though he hasn't seen that much play recently, his play rate has dropped quite a bit. And when he is picked, it's usually in the second pick phase. So we'll see how they do there. But I fully agree with you. We often see cores like Troll, Axe, Jug, Shadow Fiend. They're all highly contested picks. But when it comes to the backbone of your draft, supports have always been and always will be the real linchpin behind any execution.
Yeah, so Na'Vi immediately picking up one of the top support heroes in Dazzle, and probably they'll get another one in the second phase as well, because again, what's different in this game is we don't see the first 8 bans being 6 supports like in the previous game. In fact, Vengeful Spirit and Alliance are both still in the pool, and there's only 1 ban each left to go before second pick phase.
Yeah, and then we're still looking at things like Sand King, possibly Enchantress. We've seen a couple of Enchantress played recently, but I feel like Na'Vi, even if they have practiced or they do like roaming duos with Goblak and Vanscore, the current style of play is definitely rotated around either having dual lanes with 1 support on each lane, either have 1 support safe lane stacking, pulling, have another support mid or top, depending on what heroes you have, or you have a greedy support. So you have Dazzle who's zoning and keeping your safe lane alive and healthy, and then you have a greedy support like a Sand King. But it looks like they go for the solid ES. He's one of the heroes that I was talking about that can sit behind the mid hero in case things go wrong. They don't really have a roaming duo, but this way they can definitely secure experience and gold for the Dazzle.
I think Na'Vi have done something really clever here with the draft, because I think Na'Vi sensed something that I'm sensing, which is that Power Rangers are going to run on their momentum and just be even more aggressive in this game. And Na'Vi's picked up 3 heroes which are really good at counter-engaging or reacting to aggression.
Yeah.
You know, you dive into Dazzle or Earthshake or even Juggernauts, right? They just have skills that punish you for that.
That's the thing, in Game 1, they could not react. Their entire draft was based around picking people off and trying to get a lead. And that's kind of why they went for those Midases on Shadow Fiend and Slark. They wanted to try and just build up items slowly over time. But like you said, PR, they just got the ball rolling and they never stopped. PR pretty much right now have 3 of the hottest picks in the Troll, Axe, and Sniper, leaving their supports to last, which does leave them a little bit susceptible. But I guess Na'Vi have 1 pick left, 1 ban remaining. It's not as though they'll be able to take out both supports that PR are looking for. What do you kind of expect here? Rubik plus Sand King, maybe?
For PR?
For PR.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect 1 greedy and 1 less greedy supports. I'm not sure if it'll be specifically those 2.
Witch Doctor's pretty good when you've got Troll and Axe who are running in there. You can Berserker's Call, Death Ward, but yeah, I was feeling the Rubik.
Yeah, especially after the Dandy Mag pickup. Rubik was kind of a no-brainer. There's the ES Fissure, there's the RP. It's going to be a dream for Rubik, even in the 5 position.
So with these heroes like Axe, Juggernaut, Troll Warlord, we saw them a lot before and during DAC. Recently, their pick rate has declined a slight bit. Like, Axe, I believe he had a 39% win rate at DAC, something along those lines. It wasn't that great, but people still really do rate him highly. Juggernaut has fallen off in the pick phase now. He's usually picked up in the second phase or banned out as like a 4th or 5th ban. Whereas heroes like Chen, Shadow Fiend, Wisp, especially in the European scene, are now climbing their way back up there. I still remember the days, was it TI3, when Wisp and Batrider were literally permanently banned. For the TI3 compendium, when you guessed who was going to be banned the most, I think Wisp lost by 1 game or something. Batrider had 1 more ban than him. That was how often they were banned.
Yeah, the eternal duo. I think there's a phenomenon in Dota 2 metagaming, which is like after heroes which are very popular get significant nerfs, they usually drop in popularity for a while. But a lot of the time after that small gap, their popularity just comes back completely. People realize that actually those nerfs weren't big enough, and Axe can still do what people call the 10-second cooldown black hole. Or,
yeah.
That's still there, right? Like, wasn't that what we thought was so scary about the hero?
Exactly.
So
when he got nerfed, it was what Culling Blade threshold got increased by 50 or something like that. But his nerfs weren't relevant to that disable, the 10-second AoE disable that people were going crazy over. Then Sniper has been buffed over time. Troll Warlord, he hasn't really received too many major changes. I just feel that the fact that he's got low mana cost spells with a really short cooldown, Battle Trance, 75 mana, 30-second cooldown, you can go from Roshan to tower and not really worry about anything.
And Sniper's probably one of the better cores to combo with a Troll Warlord. Battle Trance on Sniper, you kind of like, you can try and approach that Sniper, you're going to just be like, headshot, 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 dead. You're not there. You don't get to him.
We'll see what Power Rangers pick up as their 5th. Troll Warlord, safe lane, I'm assuming here. Then you put the Sniper mid, Axe off lane. They could go for the dual lanes I was mentioning earlier, which is quite popular. Have Witch Doctor and Axe bot. Because you kind of expect that the Earthshaker won't be on that safe lane for a lot of the time. He's going to be moving around trying to save maybe Magnus from being ganked on by the Rubik.
Yeah, and the way Juggernaut's played recently, there's not a lot of maxing spin going on, so it's not actually a very threatening tri-lane, even if there were all 3 there. Unless they react and decides. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Havos is the guy who decides to go back to maxing spin.
Yeah, I still remember when he would build Soul Ring on Juggernaut. Max spin, get lots in the healing ward. That was the first time we really saw Juggernaut's potential. About a year and a half ago, when he'd go Soul Ring treads or Soul Ring phase boots on Jug, and you could constantly have that healing ward out no matter what. Yeah,
and again, Juggernaut's nerfs have been like, I think the level 1 healing ward costs more mana, and the level 1 spin has longer cooldown. I mean, these are like, sure, relevant to the skill board people were using, where they had value points and got a whole lot of crits and stuff, but you can adapt. The hero can definitely adapt, and it's pretty close to what it was when everyone was first picking it.
Yeah, when I saw the nerfs, I thought, oh look, his agi gain has been reduced by 0.4 or something like that. Not a massive nerf, but still, it's kind of like, okay, well, his attack time is going to be reduced. His armor is going to be reduced. But when you look at the healing ward mana cost that went from 80 at level 1 to 120 now, yeah, a 40 mana increase at level 1. When you're dealing with a guy with 200 mana at level 1. He can no longer really dive towers. He can no longer play aggressively in a lane and try and force the offlaner out 1v1. Now you kind of need that support sitting with you. Let's have a look at these lanes.
Yeah, Power Rangers just gave a ward to their safe lane troll, but unfortunately for them, Navi actually saw where the ward was placed, and they've got sentries ready, so that ward's going to get counted pretty much immediately.
If they hit it, they found it. Who did they give the 50 gold to? Ivan takes that nicely. Bot rune going to be contested here by Power Rangers. This is a 4 versus 2. Oh god. Havos, do you really want to go in here? There's spin on Cheshire Cat. Oh, telekinesis isn't fast enough. Havos manages to spin. Seneko, can you close the gap though?
Oh, there's going to be more shrapnels. I think he might be in trouble.
Seneko gets blocked up by the sniper. Cask gets thrown out, but they can't finish off Havos. Maybe if Seneko had boots, I'm not sure. It's something that there's quite a deviation between teams where, heroes like Sand King, Lion, Rubik, they go boots first just to give them that little boost of movement speed so they can catch heroes out like that. But it looks like they've split the load here across the Witch Doctor and the Rubik, getting wards, regen, and you really do need this regen. Boots first aren't that important when you're doing an aggro tri-lane.
I think the sniper's going to struggle a lot more now after using all 3 shrapnels and getting nothing for it. Usually those early shrapnels help him lane.
He's still able to slowly harass Dandendi, but he's already got his bot along coming. And D2CL with the Troll Warlord, who's usually a lane dominator, but up against the Bristleback, he doesn't offer the same kind of, you know, fear factor. You're not afraid of being harassed down from range and then having him rush at you with the whirling axes.
Oh, there was just a ward battle in the bot lane. Everyone trying to counter everyone else's wards, and Na'Vi actually, I think, was successful at killing Power Rangers Observer Ward there. So Power Rangers are blind. They got no wards on the map at all.
Who will they be afraid of, though? Earthshaker Fisher coming from the side, possibly, but I feel like Goblak wants to keep that as a defensive ability. In case Cheshire Cat does get a nice Berserker's Call, then you're
maybe just the fact that Dendy can get any rune, and you don't know what it is.
True. Dendy with that fast bottle. Zara probably going to go for the pretty regular Ring of Aqua phase boots build. You don't often go bottle on Sniper. Sometimes it's a necessity if you need to keep that mana and HP regen going, but usually tangos themselves are more than enough to keep you healthy. Cheshire Cat contesting pull, but there's nothing left.
Shrapnel just doesn't have any mana cost anymore, so it feels really awkward getting a bottle on Sniper, because you usually use it just for HP.
Overall, the lanes going the way of Na'Vi, I've got to say. D2CL obviously last hitting up on top lane pretty decently, but you look at Dendy. Once again, 12 for 4 against the Sniper, 7 for 0. He is dominating. Oh, bot lane. They get the Berserker's Call, but Havos has already spun. Telekinesis was used initially to catch him out, but quick off the fingers there. Dendy at this mid lane, though, I was talking about. His last hits have just been on point. Sniper, obviously, with the low base damage, can't really contest when he's got a level in power. Super difficult for the Sniper to try and take last hits off him. Then Ivan on this top lane. Bottle in the stash. He's going to keep his HP and mana regen going. Maybe even look to dive D2CL, because Troll Warlord is usually a hero that wants to dive you. When he's against a hero that can counteract that and even turn it around on him, that's when things get a little bit scary for this Troll up on top.
Yeah, and the difference this game is the early farm that Na'Vi gets is definitely going to translate into something functional. Whereas last game they kind of got these two Midases, that's where all their farm went, and that just kind of went to more farm and more farm while everyone was just dying and dying and dying. But,
yeah.
You know, if a fast Blink Dagger on a Magnus or a fast Vanguard on a Bristleback, I mean, that really does show almost immediately.
Because that's when you're looking at Bristle. Oh, the Berserker's Call onto Havos. He doesn't spin this time, so he's going to get stunned up by the cast. Telekinesis perfectly timed from Soneko. Do they have enough damage to finish him off, though? Because the Fisher will land. But Cheshire Cat gets the last killing blow. Now Vanskor, Grave is available. Hoping for some respite behind that tier 1 tower as Cheshire Cat was bearing down on him like a madman. But I
amount of confidence involved there. Power Rangers, I mean, they're aggressively going on people. There's a Dazzle, there's an Earthshaker, the Juggernaut can spin, and they're just like, we're gonna make the kill anyway, even though there's so many ways you can react and stop us killing them.
Yeah, I fully agree with you with the item progression though. Because when you've got Vanguard and Bristle, he can be like the Wraith King in the last game, for instance. Where he goes in and he baits spells. Then, once PR have gathered around the Bristleback or are running away from him, Dendy has a really great opportunity to get a big RP, catching 2 or 3. You know, obviously he'll be hoping for more, but more than likely he'll be catching 2 or 3 key heroes. Then Havos. Often we see the Juggernaut literally just sitting on the safe lane for a good 10-15 minutes, pushing into tier 1, tier 2 towers while the rest of his team is off fighting. Which is something that Na'Vi are very capable of. Vanskor going to get telekinesis up. The Berserker's Call is going to catch Havos, who is trying to run past the axe and into the support. He will succeed in doing so and trying to catch Cheshire Cat here. The magic damage from the level 2 Blade Fury not quite enough as the Fade Bolt finishing off that aggressive Juggernaut, and Havos is going to be wishing he hadn't. Axe taking a little bit of damage there from the Enchant Totem, but without Aftershock, you got no additional stun. Vanskor now even getting caught out. That's their defensive tri-lane wiped.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's Hill really the MVP in that fight, I think, because Na'Vi just got baited and baited and baited into thinking, oh, he's so low, I can kill him, just that little bit more, and all 3 of the heroes died in pretty much a similar fashion, just running in to try and finish off a kill.
So even though we're looking from good lanes, Na'Vi playing well mid and top. It's a pretty even lane up on this top between the Troll and the Bristleback. We've not seen any over-aggressive action. D2CL has done a really good job of not only harassing Ivan, but keeping his HP high. Mainly due to that Helm of Iron Will, I've got to say. Going for that Helm first feels like his small incremental item choices have been really, really good.
Yeah, D2CL, something like a eternal envy of the CIS scene. I feel more and more like he seems really good at maximizing his efficiency as a farmer in lane.
Like ring of protection against the quill spray, the extra armor that Helm of Iron Will gives you, plus the regen. Blades of attack to go into the phase boots. Every single item has its use, and it's very, like you said, golden cost efficient. He's just maximizing. He is min-maxing right now on this Troll Warlord in a Dota game. Dendy gonna get the RP. Yep, turns it back around. Great usage there from Dendy. Ditchirado though with the whirling axes. That missed percentage chance may turn around to bite Na'Vi, but Goblak says, no sir, not today. Take my enchanted totem up your backside.
Yeah, and I like this decision of Goblak to rotate at that point. I mean, continuing to contest the 3v3 lane where it's just clearly not working, it's not going to get you anywhere. But actually, Havost has been caught with its telekinesis here. I think he should be okay.
Still getting played on. The Berserker's Call will miss, and Havost bails the hell out of there with the Blade Fury.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of Blade Fury, have you noticed he is actually maxing it?
Yeah, I saw that level 2 is level 3 now. Okay. It kind of makes sense, because if he wants to try and go for a counter kill on the Rubik or Witch Doctor, he needs some form of damage. There's no damage really coming from his supports. Top lane, Goblak doesn't get the block off there. Now, Ivan trying to chase down, no points in goo. He's gone for the full-on defensive build, pretty much. No aggressive points to get the minus armor and slow down to the Troll, which possibly could have got them a kill.
I suppose it wasn't their intention.
Van score. Berserker's Call. They've got a multitude of spells to bring him down. One of them is Culling Blade.
I suppose it wasn't their intention to use the Bristleback to make kills early on. They were expecting to probably do better in the 3v3 lane, and now they've just had to adapt. Dendy well on his way to his Blink Dagger now. He's going to have that in the next minute or two, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I think we'll start seeing a lot of playmaking from him at that point. It's what he loves to do, and he'll be extremely well positioned to do it, ahead on farm of pretty much anyone else.
I wonder what his target's going to be, because he could obviously go to the bot lane and try and find pickoffs down there, turn this tri-lane against them with a big RP, or he could look for solo kills on someone like the Troll or the Sniper. And I'm sort of torn between the two options, because
well, he's going for the Troll right now, and
he's got
no
RP.
Blink, just a haste rune.
Skewer, no, Dendy, oh, he gets the RP, that's right on the edge there, skewering back, and they've got enough damage, but that was cutting it a little bit close. I thought he'd start off with the skewer back into the bristle. Now, Ivan going on J4, he's got Cask available, which doesn't bounce back to Dendy because he was just out of range, but Seneko TP's in to react. Ivan might go for the dive. He's got Empower applied to him, but 300 HP may not be enough to work with. So these two
Meantime,
up on top lane.
Cheshire is getting crazy value in the off lane, all on his own. Even though both the supports have left him, he's a ridiculously farm. Compare this to last game's Axe, who couldn't get a Blink Dagger in the entire game. This Axe is gonna have Dagger soon, and he's already got Tranquils, and he's already got Vanguard, and it's only 9 minutes in.
Definitely doing very well for himself. Juggernaut, phase boots. Okay. He's slowly but surely building up some kind of item progression, but when you go and look at the supports on PR, they've got similar net worth to him. 1600 against the 2000, there's not a big gap between the roll 1 farmer on Na'Vi and the 4 or 5 support on PR.
Yeah, I think Dendy's gonna have to put a Vorst on his back for a good 10 minutes still. You know, he's really gonna have to carry the weight. Ivan could probably help him out a bit, but the Vorst is not gonna be the one doing the work for a good 5 to 10 minutes. So.
Well, they've got a pretty healthy stack here with the Empower on Juggernaut, just able to clear through that. Healing Ward will allow them then to go from camp to camp. Dendy, Blink Dagger and 100 gold. Hopefully this is a bounty run for him, but Cheshire Cat looks like he's going to nab that. Dendy! Oh, man. The thing is, you don't want to skewer over the cliff and put yourself into a position where you have no escape mechanism. There was a Dire Observer Ward watching him the entire time. That's just unfortunate, so he has to go back into the jungle. He'll have it shortly anyway.
Or Cheshire Cat's gonna have his ass walled when he finishes this ancient stack. And the Axe with the fast dagger is a really scary hero. Probably scarier than the Magnus actually, like we said, because the Berserker's Call is such a short cooldown.
Seneko Invis. He's going to scout out pretty much the entirety of Na'Vi here, or he doesn't, because Na'Vi weave their way through the jungle. He'll walk past him. Can he solo kill him? Level 3 Fade Bolt. I think he can. steals a spin, but that seems slightly misplayed there from Snako. He could have got a hit, then telekinesis, then fade bolted. And now Omni Slash turns back around. Host with the counter kill. Ooh, Snako trying to play it too tight, I feel. Because you could go instantly for the telekinesis, right click, fade bolt, and Host is pretty much 100% dead there as Dendi skewers back Zara with a fissure from Goblak. Dendi finds the quick easy kill, blink, skewer, no RP required.
And just like that, things are really looking up for Navi. Bot lane, there is an attempt on Cheshire Cat, I think.
They have goo? No, they do not have nasal goo. So Cheshire Cat, even though he's getting slowly ticked down by the core sprays, there's nothing to slow him, nothing to decrease his armor. And when he's got support incoming, Cheshire Cat blink is available. Might go for a play here. They're trying to close the gap, but there's no creep wave. There's, you know, nothing to amplify the damage the axe will actually output. So he just heads back into the jungle. Top lane, Digirel on this troll warlord has been left unimpeded for the past couple of minutes. Up to his Helm of the Dominator, Phase Boots, Quelling Blade. He can now push the lane out pretty heavily and cycle through the jungle, farm up there.
It's a direct result of Navi's defensive tri-lane losing so badly to the aggressive tri-lane in this game that Navi are constantly leaving one of the lanes open. The Juggernaut's usually in the jungle, and so as a result, either the safe lane or off lane is usually open and someone's getting free farm for Power Rangers. Big call from Cheshire Cat.
Oh, in the Radiant jungle, but then there's a spin from Havost. Ivan, still no goo. Snako just going to pop the telekinesis and spin away, it looks like. Havost, Omni Slash on cooldown still there. Hasted Bristleback, though, might be a threat for Cheshire Cat. Goes for the career, swipes it down. They've got no stun to stop Snako. They get a Oh, Dendi? Finds Zara, Shockwave, the magic stick charges, and the Berserker's call out to the blink from Cheshire Cat. Catching Dendi off guard. Culling Blade, where's the threshold? 293, they've got it now, but oh, the grave. Vanskor graving Dendi at the last moment. They've got the heal, no, not in time. Bottle, everything super tight, but Dendi living on about 90 HP.
Yeah, I think if that's a level 3, maybe Battle Hunger, he might just die too quickly to get healed.
Bottling
but level 1 Battle Hunger.
Shadow Wave coming off cooldown.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant Ward, did Dichara smoke into here? I'm assuming he did, seeing as Navi aren't reacting. Rushing his troll is pretty easy. You just lifesteal away, try and get a few lucky bashes. Not pop battle trance for that, you know, global announcement. Hey guys, guess where I am? Well, they're going to pop it now, seeing as they're so close to killing and the signals go out. Navi, no. Reacting is a different matter. Dendi has blink, but no RP. He's already expended that one. Stolen and power. Snako going to be the first to fall. A spin from Havost will finish him off. Skew over and Dendi up on the cliff. They're going to steal it. Ivan stealing Aegis Immortal. That Culling Blade from Cheshire Cat does finish Dendi, but that's well worth it. Really, as PR are going to get crushed on top of this cliff. Ivan with a cool spray. Cheshire Cat, there's no escape, man.
Are they going to leave him?
Apparently there is escape as Ivan turns back around. Sniper with a DD is plinking away, doing plenty of damage. Havost caught on the wrong side of the fissure, but it locked the sniper down long enough for Ivan to do enough damage. Dendi with the big play though, blinking in and skewering a couple of heroes on top of that cliff. PR, they've got to be kicking themselves.
Yeah, absolute heads up play from Dendi. He's played really, really well this entire game. Almost perfectly, I'd say. This is the Dendi that has, I don't know, 2 million fans. This is why.
Unfortunately, he gave away his life. Standing on top of that cliff, you put yourself in danger as well when there's a troll and axe standing next to you.
I'm pretty sure he died with a smile on his face.
Now Cheshire Cat going into Blade Mail next after Vanguard and Blink. What are we looking at from Earthshaker? Goblak has a couple of circlets. That I can say pretty securely that's an item build I've never seen before. Magic Stick, Brand Boots, fair enough. A couple of circlets. I've seen Null Talisman Earthshaker just to give you a little bit more mana. I guess he just wants the stats.
Yeah, this is a poor man's Earthshaker. Although he's not died much actually, he's got quite a lot of assist gold too. Wonder if he'll be going straight for that Blink Dagger or if he'll stop at the Arcane Boots because he's pretty close to having a gold for that.
So when we were looking at PR, you know, their supports were doing pretty decently. Right now they're sitting on exactly the same net worth at the bottom of the table. They haven't really advanced over 2k this game. Then Juggernaut has caught up massively with the fact that he's been empowered farming jungle camps. Cheshire Cat, 3-man call, but there's no follow-up. Goldblack might fall here to a Culling Blade, but he gets graved up. And the Fissure, now Dendy comes in with a 3-man RP over the other side of the Fissure, and Havos Omni slashing them down. Zora caught on the wrong side of the river as Na'Vi take that fight with some style. Now Dendy blinking forward, looking for the 5th man of Power Rangers, takes him down. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dendy with a 3-man RP, but you gotta say, Cheshire Cat started that off with no backup. No one to follow through.
Are these the same teams that played the previous game?
Apparently. It's a complete role reversal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Power Rangers started pretty well in that 3v3 lane, but ever since the lane stage ended, they're just crumbling. I mean, it's all Navi's favor. I suppose they might have been put a bit on tilt after that rush fight, because that was like, we were getting a free rush, and all of a sudden we all die and they get rush. It's a big turnaround point.
Yeah, let's take a look at the net worth graph, in fact. That rush fight around there, that's a 3,000 lead for PR turning into about a 1,500 lead or 2,000 lead for Na'Vi. So that was about a 5,000 swing, and then PR started, you know, plateauing it out, bring it back a little bit. But Na'Vi with this team fight just now secure themselves a good 7,500 net worth lead. Experience-wise, pretty much the same story. It just wasn't as big a lead for PR as Na'Vi have just taken right now.
It's funny because you actually specifically said, oh, the troll's not using battle cry to tell them we're in rush, and then he uses it and immediately the pings come out and Na'Vi gets there just on time. So it seems if he hadn't used it, or if he had waited just a little bit longer, they would have been totally fine with that rush.
And literally 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds longer, because they took Roche down to what, like a 1/6 of his HP, maybe an 1/8. You know, it was pretty damn low. It would only take another 15 seconds to kill him at the rate they were going, and they were all piling in there. If he had waited just a short while longer for Battle Trans, I definitely agree. Na'Vi would have been completely unaware that it was happening to begin with, and secondly, wouldn't have been able to react.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at Dendy's skill board. He's chosen to actually max the empower instead of getting a value point in it. And I think that's a pretty good call in this game, actually. Juggernaut and Bristleback both going to be extremely scary, even with just the few items they have. I mean, Vorst had a tough start. He's actually the top of the net worth graph at the moment.
I was just looking at that as well. The Empower has been used to also allow Havos to farm the jungle, so he's been doing that really efficiently. And when you get an RP onto 3 people with Omni Slash Empower Juggernaut, heroes just die. They get eviscerated.
I guess it makes it slightly more impressive. I mean, or does it? Dendy's skewer onto the cliff there, the fact that he only has level 2 skewer, I guess it's not that far a distance. I'm just looking for things to praise at this point.
How are we looking on Goldblack? 1,400 gold for him. He's looking pretty close to that dagger if he can continue this rate of farm. He's died twice, and you were mentioning this a couple of minutes ago. He's done well to put himself in positions where he can get Fissures. I actually want to come back to the fight at mid they had. The fact that the Fissure was literally across this ramp meant that initially Power Rangers couldn't catch up to the axe. But it also meant that when Dendy skewered them back towards the rest of his team, they had nowhere to run. It was the perfect Fissure from Goldblack. I don't know if the second part was intended, but great play. Absolutely great all-round play. Bristleback now invis, scouting at the jungle. He's got 1 point in goo, finally! But he's not going to be able to find a kill here. PR grouping up as 4.
Yeah, goo's not going to help him 1v4, I think. And I think Na'Vi are content just to let Goldblack finish off his dagger at this point. If no one's going to come stop him, they don't need to be forcing the issue, because that blink dagger is going to be extremely significant.
Oh, if he gets stopped now, though, that's a real shame. Goldblack going to get the culling blade to the face, and he was about 200 gold away. Losing 200 gold for dying, that just doubles the distance that he was away from that blink dagger.
Oh, Goo's being used in the top lane.
And stolen by the Rubik, in fact. Not really the most important skill. There's nothing really good, though, you can steal from the Bristleback. You may as well steal something.
Nothing to stop the TP, but Witch Doctor is going to be pursued by the Mask Commanders, Juggernauts, and
do you expect
probably going to go down.
You just try and hit. Yeah, you just try and hit him. Omni Slash apparently not needed at all. until now, you don't really want to push past the tier 2 tower and risk your life, which the Bristleback's doing, but he's got a second one ready and waiting. Aegis the Immortal will bring him back. There's no response from the rest of Na'Vi though. 2 heroes are bot, 1 hero mid. It looks like Bristle just goes down twice here.
Or not.
He gets troll beforehand apparently. Sniper turns back around to hit Havost. And Vanscore dies at mid. I was watching that.
How many
I saw
charges that was.
How many what? Cool
how many
spray.
charges of cool spray was that? Because like 2 heroes died.
Many.
Just like chasing behind Bristleback.
Many cool sprays. And then I saw Axe running through the river. I just wanted to pay attention to top more because it was a bigger fight. But Axe was running through the river towards mid. Looks like he caught the Dazzle out. Dendi couldn't save his mate. And Axe got a kill with the Battle Hunger in the end.
Yeah, totally different looking game from the first one. Na'Vi looking pretty much in control. And Goblak's gonna be stopped from getting his dagger yet again. Cheshire Cat's just hunting him at this point, and
before
pretty sure he's gonna take him down.
Culling Blade, he's got Blink off cooldown in 3 seconds. If he can get some TP rotation in here. 1 second, he's got the heal. Goblak kept alive. He's got Blink now. He doesn't care if he dies. Cheshire Cat just slammed me into the ground. I care not for your Culling Blade. He does die. Culling Blade not used, but Cheshire Cat probably gonna give his life for this one. As it's a 1-for-1 trade, Earthshaker for an Axe, definitely not worth it for PR, especially because Blink.
The interesting thing there is that Vanscore could have actually graved, and I think he thought Culling Blade goes through grave, I'm not going to bother, but the Culling Blade needed like 2 or 3 seconds to cool down. So it's possible the grave would have saved him.
I clicked on the Axe. I must have clicked on him just as it came off cooldown.
Yeah, right after he killed him at cooldown. Well, right after he killed him.
So, Na'Vi in this game, they're not playing static Dota. They are playing some pretty damn active movement game here. Taking the enemy ancient stacks, taking Roshan, farming both sides of the map pretty efficiently. They've only lost 1 tier 1 tower, and that's the bot where the Safelink tri lane got crushed. PR haven't managed to move past the river, apart from that one time Dendi skewered them past the river.
Yeah, this sniper's looking more and more like last game's Axe. I mean, his item progression is just completely stalled. I can't remember the last time I noticed Sniper being relevant in this game.
Like up at that top fight in the Die Jungle, he did decently, but I guess in my brain decently means he didn't die.
He crossed shrapnel and got out alive.
Yeah, he pretty much did what it says on the tin, but Sniper, item progression wise, Maelstrom next after Yasha. Stats wise, he's not doing so great. And Na'Vi taking tower after tower. Bristleback can just walk past the tier 2. Look, like this. Hold the creep wave with Havost, take it down, the skewer back. Witch Doctor, not long for this world, gets ripped apart in about 2 seconds. Havost, you go for the Omni here. I don't know why I keep saying that. They don't need it. With Mask of Madness and Empower, he's already hitting for almost 200. In fact, over 200.
You know what, Duck? It's been a day of 1-1s by the looks of it. Every match we've cast has had game 1 being a surprising thrashing or an upset. Game 2, the team that people think will win comes back.
That is the story of, like, ever since I've joined JD, that has been the story of games I cast. I can't remember the last time I cast a game that was 2-0 or 2-1. There must have been a couple, but obviously, you know, negativity bias or whatever it's called, where I'm only remembering the 1-1 draws.
Yeah, well, certainly today, every single match, 1-1 draw.
I was just paying attention to Cheshire Cat. He looked in a pretty unusual position, but at the same time, Rubik falls. Rax here being pressured by Na'Vi as they press onto high ground. Havost doesn't have Aegis the Immortal or anything like that, so he does have to be a little bit wary of where he positions himself, but not when Dendi gets an RP onto the Sniper at the same time as Cheshire Cat blinks forward. They're going to find Sniper initially. Now Echo Slam from Goblak, catching 2. The Death Wall from J4 just not making an impact at all. Bristleback chasing heroes down. The buyback from the Sniper. Havost looking for a target, but he's already used Omni Slash. Troll tries to turn things around with a Whirling Axe's mischance. Healing Ward is placed and keeping Na'Vi pretty damn healthy. Bristleback just keeps on trucking.
Yeah, and the Sniper buyback is just really not that relevant. It's the Axe who's doing all the work on Power Rangers here, and with Axe dead, there's almost nothing they can do.
Well, they don't take a Rax, but they take a pretty commanding fight there as they force the Sniper to buy back, kill off the Troll and Axe. So, really the troll is feeling pretty sad now. We were talking about his itemization up at top lane, the fact that he was definitely doing very well gold and efficiency wise, but one of the biggest downsides to doing that is you miss out on impact items. It's kind of like game 1, Na'Vi. They went for, you know, trying to get GPM efficiency and XPM efficiency with Midases on a couple of their heroes just to, you know, keep that gold flowing, keep the levels flowing. But if you miss out on items like Shadowblade, Blink Dagger, stat items like Drums, Ring of Aquila to help you push lanes or take team fights or close the gap, you know, there are so many things that small items actually allow you to do that Midas just doesn't.
Yeah, it's always that trade-off, right? When you're going those efficient farming items, the game needs to actually go your team's way for a while. Otherwise, it doesn't really pay off because you haven't bought items that do things, and suddenly you're in this position where you need to do things.
It's kind of like when, you know, we used to see Phantom Lancer, Alchemist, Naga all go Radiance. And then it's like one player suddenly had this switch flicked in their head and they realized, hang on, I'm waiting 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or if I get shot down, 25 minutes to get this one item that can possibly turn the game around. Whereas I could be going Wraithband, Sanjin Yasha, oh my god, Havost. Blinks into the middle of 5 of them, the Omnislash somehow targeting only the Rubik. Ditchira now with the bashes. But Dendi RP on 2, Havost respawning in a second, he's going to turn this around and try and find some more kills. While Cheshire Cat on the back lines, trying to fight into 4. I don't know, the blink from Havost there. Whether he had a premonition, whether he knew they'd be in that exact position. Either way, absolutely amazing.
Time to go.
Well, it's like, I've got Aegis, let's go farm Ancients. Oh shit, look! There's a bunch of heroes to kill, let's go and take them apart. Havost the Marauder in this game, no more 4. He's a full 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and this will definitely be Rax's, because as I said, the Axe being dead just means Power Rangers can't do anything.
They've got no big AoE, they've got no defense. Axe is the only real one that can try and halt this high ground push. Na'Vi, though, they're not going to stop for anything. The blink forward from Havost. No crits, unfortunately, for him in this moment of time, and a power stolen by the Rubik. Level 4 empower onto the Troll Warlord. If they get a big Berserker's Call, if they get the Troll into a position where he can do damage, things could look good for them. But there's so many ifs in the last 5 seconds of what I was saying for PR. It all has to come together so perfectly.
Yeah, and if Dendy's not in the call, he can counter-initiate. If Dazzle's not in the call, he can heal and grave. If ES is not in the call, he can counter-initiate or just fissure. So, you know, it's almost like Na'Vi needs to just do exactly the wrong thing and all bunch up and get called together for PR to actually win a fight. Oh, Dendy's found J4 and J4's gonna go down immediately.
It's not just Dendi that's found him. 4 people from Na'Vi are like, oh look, a witch doctor. How are you doing, buddy? Oh.
A delicious snack in the jungle.
I was looking at Sniper and I saw Gloves of Haste and I thought, okay, you've got 1,000 gold. You've basically got Maelstrom finished. That was 7 minutes ago. Definitely not the best game for Zara here. He has been shut down completely. It's been a masterclass from Dendi this game, I've got to say. You were mentioning he has to really put Havost on his back, and Bristle plus the Magnus have definitely done that. Not to take anything away from Goblek and Vanscore, because they've done an exceptional job. It's just that Dendi has been the shining star.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen him make a single mistake. And there's another RP on 2, and he's going to skewer back.
The reverse RP from Seneko catches 3 of them now. Cheshire Cat and Ditchira trying to turn things around. They've got the Echo Slam from Earthshaker. The Grave back onto the Bristleback. I don't know, can PR sustain through this? They've got another Culling Blade, but do they have someone within the threshold? Havost is dropping low. Culling Blade not in time. And Troll, one more right click does actually seal the deal. They don't take another lane of Rax. They basically trade 3 for 3 there. Even overall, now you've got Bristleback turning things back. Seneko might fall. In fact, he will. Now, Ditchira, can you get more damage out? Because the Bristle just keeps turning his back, facing you, turning, facing, turning. And it's so difficult to focus on...
Well, that's a win for PR, right? They didn't get Rax. That's probably the best the fight could have possibly gone for them. And it's probably all because Seneko managed to steal RP. Just as I was saying, Dendy's made no mistakes. He gets RP stolen, and that's set up for the Axe to call, I think, 3 people after all being RP'd.
It's a lot more difficult, though, to stop RP from being stolen than, say, Ravage, because it's a smaller AoE. if the Rubik's, you know, standing 500 range away, it's pretty easy for him to steal it. Because Shockwave has a long animation time, so does Skewer, and Power is like the longest of them all.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not something to like massively criticize for, but it's when you're saying the guy's perfect, might as well point out if there's like a minor issue.
We're gonna take 1% off now. You're down to 99. Dendy, you're gonna make it up after school.
But even with that, even with the stolen RP into the call, it was still just pretty much an even fight. It's not like PR like dominated the fight. So it's hard to imagine what's gonna happen next fight when, I don't know, RP doesn't get stolen, because that's not gonna happen every fight.
Did PR try to mount one last defense? How long does Rubik have RP? Oh, he died, of course. Never mind me. Ignore that. For some reason, I thought he managed to survive with RP, but of course, he died to the Bristleback chasing him in his own base. D2CL, oh, did they go the right way? Not quite. Up the wrong ramp, and D2CL just going to farm away at that medium camp pretty happily. Then they cross paths, possibly, but they see Havos first. They get the call on the Death Ward. Havos going to go down. He's got no backup. There's no follow-through from Na'Vi, so that's 70 seconds without the Juggernaut. Any push they had planned has just been stalled completely.
Yeah, they weren't expecting to run into 5 people.
Can they kill Bristle? It's a pretty tall order, but I guess when you've got Troll, Battle Trance off cooldown in 7 seconds, Witch Doctor with a casket thrown out, there's no bounce. Oh, Maledict as well. They've got plenty of damage.
And Navi's slipping just a little bit here. I mean, they're still massively ahead and probably could finish out the game soon, but this is the kind of momentum you don't want to give a team who's on the back foot in such a big way. I think a few more costly deaths like that, and PR might build up the confidence to actually make a play. You know, I don't know, get an actual team fight, or maybe get a Roshan, and then they're back in the game.
Did you see what the swing was like on the Juggernaut kill? Because I just checked the Bristle one, and it was about 3,100 experience swing to PR, and about 2,000 gold. I was wondering about the Jug one, because overall, what's that, like a 6,000 swing? In XP at the very least.
Must be something like that.
Well, net worth goes down
from
like
gem.
Net worth goes down from like 21 to 15. XP goes from 21 to close to 10.
Gem's going to be a really important pickup here for Dandy, because I think that one of the ways to make sure that you don't get these costly deaths on your team when you're in such an advantageous position is to just make sure that the other team has no vision. They can't see what's going on. I mean, look at this ward that PR have placed in their own jungle. That's what saw what was happening before. That's why the whole team ran there before the previous pickoff.
J4 just trying to de-ward around the Roche pit. Pretty good plan. They've got one observer ward there, spotting any possible routes in. And the big man, not too long until he respawns, or until we decide he respawns. Havos spots out the Troll Warlord. They have a little face-off for a couple of seconds, then back the hell up.
Speaking of item pickups, Tsuneko's actually managed to get a dagger, which, I mean, maybe we'll get RP again. Or if not, then Fissure, or, I mean, they definitely haven't seen the Rubik's dagger yet, and I think it could be important in the next clash.
If he can steal RP followed by Echo Slam, I don't know, I'll scream like a little girl or something. It's nigh on impossible to get that progression of spell steal, but if it happens,
it would be incredible. I mean, it would have to be a pretty long fight, because he doesn't have like a Aghanims or anything.
Yeah. Oh.
Seems like everyone's waiting for Roshan to spawn. If he were to spawn right now, the double damage troll would kill him extremely quickly.
Na'Vi are in a position to counteract though. Like, Dendy has just walked past the pit, they've just seen him, but Goblack and Havos are both in the vicinity.
Na'Vi's a little bit split, and PR is all smoked up heading into the jungle.
Which way do they go? Who do they walk into first? Vanskor looks like he's just dead. They in fact find the Bristleback as their initial port of call. Vanskor is, you know, pretty much screwed there as Havos takes down the Rubik, so it's 1-for-1 so far, support for support. RP only catching the Witch Doctor. That's not really what you plan to do, but the Omni Slash, triple kill now for Havos. Circus School back in, Cheshire Cat going man mode. The DD Troll is just wearing out. The Abyssal play from Havos, locking down D2CL, trying to cleave through these couple of heroes. The chase continues. One bash! Havos the ultra kill, maybe even a rampage here for him. It looks like it's going that way. Taking down all 5 with a couple of swings from his little katana. Roshan respawning in what, 10 seconds?
I gotta say I mean, Navi slipped up there. There was splits at a really bad time. They paid for it, and I think it's just because of how far they are ahead that they still managed to take that fight.
The fact that Havost with Empower does close to 400 damage, can Abyssal Blade someone down like the Troll Warlord before Whirling Axes becomes a real threat? Now he has to fight up against the Blade Mail Axe though, and he's losing a lot of HP in the process. Maybe a lucky bash from D2CL, not gonna happen. As Havost spins to win, Soneko now though telekinesis, dunked into the ground by Cheshire Cat, and that was greedy as hell. They force a bunch of buybacks, but when Roshan has just respawned, that's not really where you want to be putting yourself.
And all of a sudden we might have a pretty close game.
Well,
assuming that PR actually go for the rush now. I thought it was a given.
yeah, 1.5 lanes of racks down, you kind of think, well, Na'Vi are in the driving seat. They are driving, I don't know, a school bus. PR are driving a Mini. All of a sudden, this Mini has been extended, turned into a limo, had some subwoofers put in the back, massive, 50 million inch rims. With this Roche, they've got Aegis and cheese. Who takes the cheese though? He just gets left in the pit. Cheshire Cat, he's got a slot.
If Navi keeps slipping up, and now there's Aegis and cheese, I think they lose the next fight. I think if they spread out and someone gets picked off early on, or if RP gets stolen, I think there's a reasonable chance PR could win the fight. The biggest problem for PR is just the Omni Slash at this point. They don't really have a good way to deal with the Omni Slash with Empower.
Yeah, do they have Ghost Scepters, Force Staffs? They've got Blink on the Rubik. Aghanim's being built up by the Witch Doctor. They've got no real defensive items. Everything has just been put into stats, damage output, and initiation. Blink Daggers don't really give you an out in team fights. It's literally blink in. Once we're in, we have no route of escape. There's no out. There's no plan B. But that's the way.
If Navi manages to get their spells off, if Mag and Earthshaker get their spells off, and Juggernaut is Omni Slashing, that's a problem for PR. They don't have a way to react to that.
And Zara has finished off Mjolnir. Item progression has been slow to say the least, but he's got some damage. That's what really matters. Axe on the front lines with the Troll Warlord. Battle Trance amplifies your damage massively, just giving you that extra attack speed. If he can put Static Charge onto the Axe, and he can get a good 2-man call, 3-man call, Na'Vi could get dismantled. Then you look back at Dendi, and he is 600 gold away from Refresher, though. Difficult to deal with. Dendi's positioning has been a little bit lackluster in the past 2-3 minutes. The past couple of fights, definitely. If he can get himself smoked up, hidden in the fog or in the trees somewhere with a double RP at his disposal, PR are going to have their work cut out for them to try and win a team fight.
Well, heading towards a 5v5 cash in. Navi's a bit more spread out yet again.
Well, they find the Bristol back. Berserker's Call, where's getting his thrown? Because Havost and Dendi are trying to get themselves in a position where they can try and react. Havost, man fighting up against Cheshire Cat, the Witch Doctor ult, and the Assassinate actually being dodged by the Omni Slash there. Goes back in for J4, still empowered up. Maledicts misses. And Havost just crits him down as Zara is being swiped by the Bristleback. PR looked like they were in a decent position to try and take this fight. Pincer movement splitting up Na'Vi, but Dendi's movement was impeccable, allowing Havost to go and fight 1v1 against the Axe while the rest of the team has to deal with Bristleback. They just ran into the wrong heroes at the wrong times.
And killing the hero that has Aegis last, it's always very useful. So the Aegis gives no value in that fight. I mean, Troll respawns, but everyone else is already dead.
It looks like this is going to be the third lane of racks here, because mid is going to go down to creeps, more than likely buyback status. Not relevant because GG is called by Power Rangers. And the series ends 1-1. A win apiece. Pretty even.
And both of the game is fairly one-sided. I mean, Navi had a few hiccups in this game toward the end, but they always looked in control, other than, the hiccups in the first maybe 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, laning phase went well mid and top. Like, it was pretty much a wash up on top lane, Bristle versus Troll. Dendi did pretty damn well against the Sniper, I've got to say. Safe lane tri-lane for Na'Vi didn't work, but they had such good ideas how to come back from it. Empower the Juggernaut, farm the jungle, then you give time for Earthshaker, while Jug and Dazzle are going to find kills on the supports. All around, Na'Vi definitely showed that they've still got it in them. Anyway, that's it from us tonight I've been Durka. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at DurkaDota. Joining me, Scant at Scantzor. Both Twitter handles are in the Twitch title. Thanks, Scant, for joining me. Any shout-outs or anything?
No, thanks very much for having me. It's been a great time casting.
Right, that's it. Good night, everyone. Tomorrow we have some MLG action. D2CL continues next Monday, and I believe Toby will be back for that, so you'll be happy to hear. You'll have your Toby back for a couple of games on Monday. Good night. See you next time.